Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial today I'm going to explain about the default empty keyword in SQLScript. I will show you some of the example so that you can have a good understanding how we are going to use it in procedure. So I will write some example here, and here I will be using this empty keyword. And before that we should know some of the facts about this empty keyword, where we're going to use it and when. And we're going to use it for tabular parameter. It is not going to be supported for scalar type. So when you're writing any input or output parameter in the procedure, so you can use this empty keyword just to identify that whether this table is empty or not, so that you can utilize this functionality in the procedure. I will give you examples so that you can have an understanding. So let me write a simple procedure here. So here you can have a good understanding. Then suppose create, I'm writing a small demo procedure here. It is suppose check input, and then my input parameter is in, that is in tab, and suppose it is a table type, and it is having a value integer type, one value, default is empty. Now here I'm using this default empty, and I have another parameter that is the out is the result, and here I'm declaring the type as worker. And now I will write here one simple and very easy if-else statement where I will be using this functionality, so that it will be interesting to know about this. So I will write very easy if-else statement. If is empty, then my input is I tab, then so if my input is empty, so then I'm going to print the result as suppose input is empty, or otherwise else. In the else we can print the result as input is not empty, right? So I'm going to end this if as end if, and then I'm going to end the procedure with end. So in this small demo example, what we have learned that we can utilize the input table type in the procedure, and whether we can read the data, whether we can call it as input empty or input not empty. So I will execute this procedure in order to check just whether it's working or not. So I will execute this, and there are errors. Okay, let me identify the error and we will correct it here. Okay, this is the type is worker. Got it? Yes, the table is created here. Now we will call this table. So how can we call it? Can somebody remember? Very easy. So call the procedure, and then now call direct the procedure. Okay, check input. And here in this case I'm going to use this directly the table parameter name, like here the parameter is result, and we are going to this arrow sign and then question mark. So if I now call it, so it will show the data. So wait, check input is not found. Okay, I wrote the check input. Okay, anyway, Yes, now it is showing the data as input is empty, because initially I default is empty, and this table doesn't have any data. So if we in by this way you can actually check your table whether it's empty or not. You can also utilize this functionality in your procedure. And I have some more example, like we can do suppose we can also declare in the out tab. So suppose you do not have any input variable input, so you have only the output table. So how can you do that? So I will also write a simple, suppose, create procedure and proc empty. Here in this case, suppose we are going to use out tab, and suppose out equal to out tab, and then suppose you have a table and where integer is int default empty. And if you use like this, what's gonna happen? I'm not going to give any body. The body will be empty. Just it is very interesting to know that this is just for learning purpose, that we can execute this statement also. Right now it is executed and this procedure is created, because I have declared the out tab is can be empty. So you do not need to give any statement. So if I now call this procedure, so what's gonna happen? Call proc empty, and in this case, so we're gonna see the data like empty. So this is very interesting to know that we can, without writing the body, like it is empty, the I is empty, right? This I is empty. So I do have one more example to show you, and that will be the end of this tutorial. How can we use in the function? We have learned how can you use in the procedure. Now we will see how can we use in function. So it is very easy. Also we can actually do the same thing up here. Just let me copy paste this one, and I can actually show you how can we do in function. So we can just change this keyword and procedure to function, and we're going to suppose I'm writing a different name like check underscore input. Okay, and then I'm going to put the variable like the same variable, and let me tell you that for return, for function we have to write the return function. This is a small difference between procedure and function. You can see my earlier videos where I've talked about the functions and how can you create functions and so on. So in this case I'm going to return, so this is my suppose this is input variable. I'm going to end here, and we're going to return table. Okay, we're going to return a table of I is the value integer type. So now we're going to do the same example here. So as begin, if I tab is empty, then its result is empty, and if else it is not empty. So, and here in this case we have to write the return statement. Returned the result. Yeah, so let's see, I hope it will work. So let me just execute that. Yeah, there are some errors. Okay, I got it. So we have to write in the second row, this is the returns here. You have to write returns table, not return table. So let me now execute this now. Let's see. Okay, there are more errors. So let's find out where's the error. It is showing in 11th column. So it must be here, I believe. Just let me write the equal sign. Let me now execute again whether it's working or not. Now there are more errors. Okay, this should not happen. So if it doesn't work, we're gonna leave it for now. So anyway, so after that, once it is created, so we can call this function by right select star from, then your function name is take input. Okay, and then you have to give a bracket sign. So if you now execute like this, so it's gonna work. So I hope you have understood about this part. And in this today's tutorial, so we have learned about this default empty. So what is the use in the procedure, and we have shown one example procedure in this part. And then we have talked about this is very interesting to know that without writing the body, we can also execute the procedure using this default empty keyword. And also then we have talked about how can we use in the function. And very important thing to know in function that it returns some data in the return table. So there's a small difference between procedure and function. So that's all about this video, and please watch my other videos and have a nice day.